Good morning and welcome to another short devotional for Black Rock Baptist Church and also Morristown Baptist Church. Today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 and the little devotional is entitled When We Don't Understand. Many people ask God to guarantee their success before they will try what he is asking them to do. That's not faith. Faith always requires risk. Faith means you obey even when you don't understand. For example, forgiveness never seems like a good idea before you do it. But it's one of the greatest tests of your faith. When someone hurts you, it may not feel right to forgive that person. It may not appear just. But forgiveness is always the right choice, regardless of whether you understand it or not. Remember when you were a kid and your parents told you to do something that didn't make sense. Parents are prone to do that. They ask their children to do things that don't make sense to the children. But now you can look back in hindsight with 20/20 vision and you understand your parents' perspective. That's how it works with God as well. Faith is doing what's right, even when it seems absurd. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 says, Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding. You never know the whole picture, but God knows. God sees the whole picture. The Bible gives us a great example of this in the story of Gideon in Judges chapter 7. Gideon took 300 Israelites to battle against 135,000 enemy soldiers. The odds were 450 to 1. God had the soldiers, the 300, take torches and trumpets and clay pots, a command that I'm sure Gideon thought was ludicrous. Then God told Gideon to put the clay pots over the torches so the light couldn't be seen, and to go at night and surround the enemy's camp. God's instructions went something like this: when I tell you to blow the trumpets, break the pots, and let torchlight suddenly shine out in the darkness. It will look like a huge army is surrounding the camp. It will cause mass confusion, and the enemy soldiers will end up fighting each other. Well, Gideon obeyed, even though it didn't make a lot of sense to him. The Israelites blew their trumpets, broke their pots, and revealed the light from their torches. The enemy soldiers woke up in shock and they started fighting each other instead of fighting the Israelites. Because Gideon did what God told him to do, even when he didn't understand it, the Israelites won the battle. 300 Israelite soldiers against 135,000 enemy soldiers. Sometimes God tells us to do something that, well, it appears foolish, like going into battle facing overwhelming odds. But when you have faith, you'll obey God, even when you don't understand what he's asking you to do. Like Gideon and his soldiers, we can't live by faith without risk. But God sees the big picture. With 20/20 vision, you can trust what he's asking you to do. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Join with us again later in the week as we continue our short devotionals. Until then, let's continue to exchange prayers daily.